Hi, this is Lucy, and today I'm going to show you how to build the Autumn Gate Getaway. You will, if you build it in this location, probably need to do offsets with catwalks because there is not a lot of space and you will need to be able to destroy items. If this is something you're interested in, please stay tuned. So there's a couple of stories behind this. The first one is that I tried recently to build down in Skyline Valley. I tried to build a Blue Ridge caravan depot, and let's just say I had a lot of problems with ants. So I moved. I still had a problem with ants. I moved and then got eaten by mirelurks, and I built this thing 4 times. I'd given up for now. When I actually finally built it in my usual spot by New Gad, I actually decided it was too boring and I hated it. So I'm going to put a pin in that one. So while I was looking around on the server that day, I found a camp here. Now, this location, I'll show you where we are on the map. We are just below East Ridge Lookout, abandoned bunker. Hopewell Cave is over here. If you don't know where we are, this is Vault 76. So we're on the edge between the Savage Divide and the Mire. I found this location the first year in the game. I think I inadvertently came here when I was trying to get to Harper's Ferry. And so probably about 3 months in, because I desperately wanted the brick building set, and the only place to get it at the time was Harper's Ferry. I died a few times and got eaten by scorch beasts and various other things. Hopewell Cave. Yeah, there's a scorch beast near there. So I spent a year. I spent more than a year trying to find this place again, and I couldn't find it. So I had subsequently found it. I knew where it was. So I saw a camp here and I came and had a look, and I thought, it's a very small space. Can I build a tiny house here? And the answer is yes, I can. So it gave me something to do while I was bemoaning my caravan depot. So yeah, I mean, we have a lot of offsets and overlaps because of I needed a walkway here, so because of this offset there's not enough space. Well, you can get around the back, I think, if you move that out of the way. So I needed this offset, and I decided to use roofs. We have this outdoor eating area here. I have a grill out here. It was so tiny inside, it was so cluttered that putting a cooker on top of the hob just seemed overpowering. So I decided to just have one cooker. I have a turret up there. Enemies tend to come from there, and they're the usual mire suspects like gulpers and mirelurks and all sorts of lovely things. Fog crawlers. I have all the things you need for a camp. I have guitar, I have workbenches around the back. I have put a boat out. There are some downsides to this camp. There's one radroach that lives here, and he always respawns whenever you travel away and back to your camp. As there are a few of these frozen scorched. There's one down there, one here, and one here. So, and they also respawn every time I travel back to the camp. I tend to shoot them, but I still like it. I've put a few bits and bobs. Because I like to have things in my camp, there's a beehive up there for honey. I have a protectron up somewhere. I think he's up the top. I put the tire swing out. There is a skeleton here. You can usually just make him go away if you have an explosive weapon. Unfortunately, you can't get rid of this one. I have tried. Maybe if I do it from above him, I don't know. So I put a picnic basket in here. The water is not deep enough to swim in. I did consider putting the red brontosaurus here, just for why not. You could build over the kind of, it's not really a waterfall. Water doesn't really work that well in 76. Some aspects of it do, but that just looks wrong to me. If you want to know how to get here, actually, the easiest thing to do is to go to the abandoned bunker, walk along here, and then turn right up the river and walk up the river to get here. So the house, I mean, I wanted to do an autumn theme. The colours in the Maya are kind of autumnal in a way. There's those reds and russets and browns and golds. So I'd originally built this using the new modern sort of sanctuary set, and it kind of looked like a trailer. I have an idea for that build set. I will be doing that soon. So I kind of decided to go for these autumnal colours. So, use the Iron Mountain anvil door. This is the bedroom. I decided to use this wallpaper instead of artwork on the walls because it kind of goes nicely with the colour scheme that I had planned. I've also used the lamp, which has the same pattern on it, or very similar, these red cardinals. I like birds, so... I did actually. I always think that looks odd, empty. I merged in one of those Christmas houses in the red one, obviously. So my pheasant, I love pheasants. I love birds. I love pheasants. I'm not quite sure what that's meant to be on his chest, though. It looks like some kind of cancerous growth. Maybe that's what it is. I bought this stash box. Yes, I have a water cooler in my bedroom. It was literally the only place I could get it in. I suppose you could put it on this side. This is the sitting room. Quite simple, really. I've put the clock up. Kitchen. Lots of orange and sort of autumnal things. I put a pumpkin pie out. Yes, it will degrade. But I can get pumpkins. I'm not that far from the pumpkin house. I can always just swap it out with a new one. The only problem is Mirelurk eggs, but, well, I know a few places. Getting a door in here was problematic, so in the end I went for the saloon door, which some of you might object to. I wanted to use the Bigfoot rug. Unfortunately, it meant having to turn the toilet round because otherwise the toilet was sort of floating on the rug. So, there we go. I have glazed this. I like this set glazed. But I will show you how to do all of this. You don't have to. I mean, from a point of view of budget, I've barely used 50% of my budget. So, but there are issues, and I am very conscious of the fact that when I try and rebuild this, if I don't get these foundations in exactly the right place, this might not work. I might have to do it a few times. Not sure I'm looking forward to that, to be honest. So, anyway, let's make a start. So I have to confess I cheated. Rather than move my camp, I actually took everything off till I was left with one foundation. The reason being, if you don't get your foundation in the right place, you're not going to find out until about halfway through the build. And it's easier to show you. I know this works, so it's easier to show you. This is where I placed the first foundation. Now, this is not an easy build. It is quite complicated, and you might not want to build here, but it might give you some ideas for other places you want to build where it's very small or very tight quarters. So I'm going to put foundations either side of this one. And the first thing we're going to do is put the roofs on. Now, the roofs are offset by a hearth in both directions, and the easiest way to get that position is to take a corner catwalk, place one that way, and then one that way. Add a wall, and we can add roofs. I'm going to use these roofs, the RIP roof, and I know it's a flat roof, but I'm putting the roof in the upright position, because if you do this, when you flatten it, it is slightly higher. So I'm going to put 4 of those on and 4 going the other way, and they will snap on that edge. It just means that the if you're using a thin roof, the walls won't show through, so it's better to have them slightly higher, so hence putting them in the upright position. We need to get rid of this wall. I'm going to flatten this one out, remove the wall, remove the catwalks. Next we need to add the roof floors. Take a half catwalk, add a half wall on the bottom like so, and this will be the position of the roof. So again, we're going to place roofs like so. This one is not going in. I can't remember if I need that one to go in, but for the point of covering the floor at the moment, we're okay. We're going to do the same on the other side. Okay. Get a bit confusing. Right, go in. So there you have that. We can flatten that out, remove this, put it back up. Now I am going to flamer trap some of these roofs because we need to create the half offset for the bathroom. So I'm going to flamer trap these. I'm going to flatten these ones out. For those that are new to my channel, yes, I know I don't have to power up my flamer trap. It's up to you. I do it this way so that I don't have to come out of build camera mode. We are going to have to flamer trap these ones as well. I thought I could get away with it, but the game is not having it. So, attempt to get your flamer trap. Come on. Oh, that'll do. It's too high. Right. Right down here. Oh, I've got this trailing wire thing. I did this the other day and I don't know why. Right. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put my flamer trap on a stash box. Two reasons. One, I might be able to get better position, but also if you move it once, the wire now for the generator will just go through any object. This one is going to be tricky. Okay, got it. In theory. It's too high. Right, let's try doing it off the... And I also managed to destroy the flamer trap, which was good. Obviously, the flamer trap was on the roof, but we'll leave it for now, that's fine. Now, we're going to put a double wall in here, halfway along this foundation, but you will know, if you ever build these, that you have to have the outside walls on first. So put these outside walls on here and here. Over the end of this, we're going to turn them into doorways so we can lift that foundation. So we're going to move this foundation over here. We're going to take a half catwalk and attach it to the middle foundation, and we're going to add a doorway. Make sure it's on the end of the catwalk. Remove the catwalk, pull the middle foundation up so that it's attached to the wall. Put this foundation back. Add another wall to double wall. This second part isn't really necessary. I'm just a perfectionist, you should probably know that by now. Right, we're now going to move this foundation back to its original middle position and put this one in here, like so. Now I think, but I'm not absolutely certain, so it doesn't really matter. Actually, let's try it. Repair your roofs. You can do it manually or go to your camp widget. I found my flamer trap. Yay, good, because I'm going to need it. Flatten these out. And we're going to put the rest of the walls on. Going to put a doorway here, and they will snap over the roofs. They're snapping to the foundation underneath. I'm going to put a window here, but we're going to do something different first of all. We're going to put a plain wall here, and the rest are all going to be windows. I'm going to glaze these, so put 2 half walls. For things like this, use the barn set, it works. The barn set seems to work for everything. There's one proviso where you should use a brick wall, but for most things like this, use the barn set. Some building sets, you can do some things but not others. Pretty much, yeah, barn set a go-go. So if it's not working, it's because you're not using the barn set. We need to flamer trap these barn set half walls. Oh, there we go. To do 2 at once, put your flamer trap on a stash box. Oops, don't want that there. Oh well, never mind. So just wait half an hour while it thinks about destroying these. We're going to have to do this one from the inside. Right. I'm going to repair this end wall. You'll see why in a minute. Right, now we're going to add the rest of the fire watch walls or fire hazard walls. We need a window here, here, here and here. Before you repair these, put your wallpaper on. It's much easier to select the wallpaper. Now I used this ochre wallpaper. It would have been nice to have tile in the bathroom. You could possibly put it on the back wall with the window, but bear in mind that this wall is half in the kitchen. I used the red cardinal wallpaper on this wall. I think that was a season reward, I might be wrong. There have been so many. So there we go. Right, repair the barn walls. To do that, the easiest thing is just to go to your camp widget and repair all. I've been getting very confused lately because I have my settings to automatically go into build camera mode and it's not doing it. It's the update. It also changed the volume. I had all these volume settings, audio settings for recording, and it changed them all. I actually, a few months ago, had a situation where pacifist was off and it was just after an update. So if you're having problems, check your settings because I think the game changes them sometimes when there's an update. Okay, right, we're going to glaze these. I know that they look awful at the moment, but everything will be fine. Trust me. So for these I tend to use the rustic greenhouse set for the top and the original greenhouse set for the bottom. I just like the way this looks like a sash window, but you can do whatever you want. So just do whatever you want, whatever you have on these 4 windows. Right, we can close these doorways off and make them full walls. When I did this on mine, it might have been a slight... I didn't do everything in this build order. It was a complete mess, to be honest. Just suddenly thought, oh, I think I'll add a bathroom. When I did it, I had the wall showing through, so I changed this wall set to the base wood, so it didn't show through. But it's not showing through today, so we'll take that as a win. We can flatten our roofs out. We can see how many roofs we can get on for the rest. Is this the right roof? Yes. I did manage to get one in here and one in there, which amazed me. Yeah, that one where the bike is will not go in. I think, I might be wrong, I'm sure I thought I got a half in there. I might be wrong. Maybe if we put them upright, we'll have a better chance. I thought I got one in further along, but I might actually be misremembering. Right, to do the sort of pergola, all you need to do is make a wall, three-place wall blueprint, which is snap a wall to a foundation, add a quarter catwalk and then a small floor object. Blueprint those 3 items and you have a three-place wall. If you ever have trouble getting it down anywhere, put a rug underneath it. You can remove the rug without removing the wall. Like so. Take the catwalk off and the floor object. full catwalk and then snap a wall down below, like so. I left it open on either side because I figured people might want to swing off this or whatever, I don't know. Turn these to plain walls and then turn them into the pavilion set. The reason is there's no doorway in the pavilion set, so you can't convert a doorway into the pavilion set. Add a pavilion roof, and that is pretty much that. I think that is pretty much it. So finishing off, there's not actually a lot left to do. Doors. Now, when I flamer trapped all these roofs, I should have put the doors on then. I didn't think about it at the time. So if you want, the doors will not go in. I used the Iron Mountain anvil door for here. But even if you've forgotten, just lift this up and flamer trap it. I briefly got interrupted by super mutants. Go on, go down. Hopefully the door will go in now. There we go. Handle on the left means that it opens inwards. For the bathroom, I think you might have to flamer trap both. So lift this one up. It's much easier to flamer trap these when they're this big. You can use whatever door you want. You could use the circus trailer door. I used the saloon doors because it was annoying me that the door was intersecting with the bathroom furniture. But it's up to you. And I just really wanted to use that Bigfoot rug because I thought it went with the build and the location. Interestingly, I've relogged because it got dark. Interestingly, the walls for the offset were not showing through when I think when you relog, then the game rebuilds your camp. Sometimes it adjusts things by like a millimetre, but it can make the difference between things being visible and not, as in this case. So be aware that these walls might show through, and you might want to change them to wood. I put vines on mine as well to help hide it. If you lift these up, you can take the foundations off if you want. I kind of felt they went with the rock and it made it look a bit more permanent. I did merge a generator into, I think it was this foundation on the right. I couldn't get it in on this one because if you merge a generator into a foundation and then try and snap it over a rock, it objects. It says that it's intersecting because the generator is intersecting with the rock. So if you have that problem, try it on this one on the far right. So decorate, add a giant red brontosaurus if you want. I couldn't actually get it down. I've never built with this because it's not really my aesthetic. I don't know, it just kind of reminded me of Jurassic Park. I have actually managed to run up the tail of one of these all the way to the up at the back. And I have pondered actually building something on its back. If you've ever played Ark, you'll understand what I mean. He won't He won't go down here like so. I had pondered trying to make a blueprint in a workshop. I don't know if he'll actually go on foundations. I've never tried to play around with him, but I thought it might be a cool way to get to your camp by kind of. So if you want to add a giant red brontosaurus to this thing, that's what it's called, isn't it? No, it's a giant brontosaurus, but he's red. Yeah. Then by all means do. Can't think of anything else to add. It's just it was a small doodle. I wanted to build something here. I wanted something small that fit in the location, and I think I achieved that. So anyway, I hope you have fun with this. I hope you take away some of these build ideas for using in other difficult to build places. If you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.